In this video, we're going to talk about a box and whisker plot. And a box and whisker plot is closely related to a median. And in previous lessons, we've talked about the median. So if you're a little bit shaky with the median, please make sure you review those notes. A box and whisker is simply a box, and then it has two lines coming out from the box that remind us of whiskers on a cat or a dog. So that's why it's called a box and whisker plot. Okay? So here we have the results of a survey. I asked a statistical question to some 12 students, and I recorded the response. The statistical question I asked were, how many books did you read? And so I recorded each of those answers on the board. So a student read 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 12, 14, 18, 19, 21, 30, and 32. I already put my data in order from least to greatest. But remember, that's a common mistake that sixth graders make. You know, before finding the median, you need to put your data in order from least to greatest, like I have displayed up here. So, I don't want you guys to worry about the box and whisker plot yet. Please copy what's in red first, and then we'll take that information that's in red that we copy and apply it to our box and whisker graph. Our box and whisker plot. Sorry about that. Okay? So, the first vocabulary word is upper extreme. And upper extreme is the greatest value in our set of data. So, because one student read 32 books, that's the greatest amount of books in our set of data. So, the upper extreme would be 32. The lower extreme is just the opposite. So the lower extreme is the lowest value in our set of data. So our lower extreme would be 2 because 2 is the least amount of books that a student read. So that's why I have upper extreme and lower extreme. Then we have median. So if we look at our data, we realized that there was 2 medians. There was a 12 and a 14. So we added them together to get 26 and divided them by 2, which would be 13. But students, if you can visualize what number is in the middle of these two numbers, smack dab in the middle, then you can just record that. A student in my previous block said, well, Miss Pilkington, I don't need to do all this work, because I know what number is between 12 and 14, and that's 13. So either way you want to find the median is cool with me. So I recorded the median over here next to our vocabulary word median. And remember, median is when you have a set of data in order from least to greatest, it's the number right in the middle. And we've used the slash method in class, where we start marking out numbers on each side until we get to that middle number. Now we're going to talk about the lower quartile median, or the lower quartile, and that's the median of the lower half of the data. We don't include the original median we had. So we're not including that 13. So if we look at this, the lower half of our data is 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, and 12. So we could use the slash method once again, and we realize we have 2 medians with a value that's right between 7 and 8, would be 7.5 or 7 5/10. Same value. And that would be called our lower quartile median. Then we're going to do the same thing with the upper quartile. We're not including that 13. Remember, we're not including our original median when it comes time to find the upper quartile median and the lower quartile. So I boxed the entire upper quartile of our data, and I started slashing 14, 32, 18, 30, and then there was 2 medians again. And here we had 19 and 21. You could add those together and divide by 2, or you can think, what number is between 19 and 21? And we know that that's 20. So the upper quartile median would be 20. So those are the directions to get your answers in red. I believe now we're ready to plot this information on our box and whisker plot. The first thing we're going to do is I put a polka dot above the lower extreme value, which was 2, and then our upper extreme value, which is 32. That was my first step. Then, above the integers on the number line, we're going to put a line above each of the medians that we found. So we had the median 13, and I placed a line above it. I had the lower quartile median, which was 7 5/10, put a line above it. The upper quartile median was 20, so I put a line above it. Because this is called a box and whisker, all you have to do is draw a box, trace a box around each of your medians. So it forms that box, hence box and whisker. Let's talk about our whiskers. What would we do here is from the box, we would extend a line to the polka dot that was above our lower extreme. That's our whisker part. And then we would extend a line to our upper extreme. So we'd connect the box with where we labeled the upper extreme. Now students, this box and whisker looks really confusing, but once we find out all this information, it's easier to plot it on the number line. Let's do some more examples together.